my kits here for the circle weavings. This one is the warm colors, cool colors, and rainbow colors. And what each of those kits you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little balls of yarn that are wound up, little butterflies. And when you find one of these, you can just start pulling them straight from the tail that's here, and they'll come undone nice and neatly, and they won't tangle. So I'm going to move these aside. And again, you can get these in any color combinations you want. They can come with a little chopstick, and I'll show you what we use that for in just a little bit. So you're going to need to cut, you have your disc, and on the disc you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little slits in your disc, one hole in the center, but you're going to cut 7 pieces of yarn. And you could cut them, I usually cut mine about 18 inches long, but you know, for children, maybe you might want to do it just 12 inches long. And so I would just take this and measure this up against here, or all the way to 18 inches. It's better to have a little bit too much, especially when you're just starting. And then I would cut it with my pair of scissors. So I'm going to set this aside because I've already got some already cut. So I have here some cool colors, and I have my 7 pieces. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So once you have your 7 pieces, you want to kind of gather them up by the cut ends like that, just to make it, I guess, more level and even. And then I wrap it around my fingers, and then I put these cut ends through that loop. Now, I could make, you know, longer tail here if I wanted to, because what I'll probably do when I'm all done is I'll have a piece like this, and I'll want to tie it in another knot around my friend's, you know, wrist if I was giving this as a friendship bracelet. But I did my overhand knot. Then I'm going to push this knot. That's where the chopstick comes in handy. You could use a pencil if you want. That's what I use in the classroom all the time. And I just push this through. Now, I love this foam because it kind of grips onto this without making too big of a hole. I know when the kids do this in the classroom, we use cardboard, and sometimes those holes can get really big, and the knot will come out. It'll push in and out. But I love doing with the foam because then you can just keep reusing this, right? So I'm going to take and I'm going to put 1 piece of yarn into each slit, like so. And so if you go to my website, which there'll be a link in below this video, I sell these kits for $8. And it's just a great way to get started with the circle weaving, and I'm going to have some other projects of things you can do in kits. So you might think, okay, Miss Lysak or Miss L, you have this one that you forgot to put a piece of yarn in. Well, no, I didn't. I want that piece, I'm going to move these out of the way here. I want that empty one to face my belly. I always say empty one faces your empty belly when I'm talking to the kids about how to get started. Then you're going to count up on your left side, 1, 2, 3. And you're going to take that third one out, put it into the empty one, turn to your left. Empty belly, 1, 2, 3, out, in, turn to your left. Empty belly, 1, 2, 3, out, in, turn to your left. And you keep doing that, and every now and then you want to untangle these. Now you could do these longer if you wanted to, but you really have to be careful that you're kind of running your fingers through this so it doesn't get too tangled. And so I would just keep doing this. Empty belly, 1, 2, 3, out, in, turn to your left. 1, 2, 3, out, in, turn to your left. 1, 2, 3, out, in, turn to your left. 1, 2, 3, out, in, turn to your left. And then every now and then, oopsie, I already got a tangle there. Every now and then, you're going to tug on this, and you're going to start seeing the braid coming down this way, okay? And so I'm going to keep doing that for a little bit, and you guys can kind of see what happens. So I'm going to keep doing this a little bit until you can see it form. Okay, so I've woven it as long as I need it to be, enough to go around my wrist. And I could measure it on the ruler or just wrap it around my wrist to make sure that it's the right length or the length of the person I want to give it to. In my case, I'm going to do it about 8.5 inches. I could also take a tape measure and I could measure my wrist and then measure what I've got that I've woven. But I know that I've done a pretty good job. It's the length I need it to be. And then I'm going to take all my strings out and I'm going to do another overhand knot so that I can tie it together for my friendship bracelet. So I'm going to take all these strings out and then I'm going to pull my bracelet out. And I measured it, and it's about 8 inches, which is perfect. And I'm going to do another overhand knot at the other end. I could just tie those ends together like that, but I'm going to do another overhand knot so that it won't come undone. And I'm going to do this kind of slowly because I'm going to kind of make sure that my knot is right at the end of where my weaving stops. I don't want it to be covering up my weaving. And I don't want there to be a big gap where it didn't, you don't see the woven part. So there, I could just take this and I could tie those two ends together and I have my friendship bracelet. And I'll be having another video where I can show you different ways to finish off the circle weaving and making like a little clasp, but enjoy making all your friendship bracelets with your new circle weaving kit that I hope you enjoy it.